Hey keyboard nerds! One of the scales that we talk about a lot with improvising over blues and rock is the blues scale. Now the blues scale only has 6 notes in it. Of course there's a million different ways that you can play this scale and you can use your imagination and really the sky is the limit. But all of us at some point will start playing the same patterns and get frustrated, start to look for a new way to play it. The first thing that you can always do is look at somebody else's solo and pick off things that they're doing, because 9 times out of 10 they will imagine 2 or 3 note groupings or a different way to approach the lick in a way that you've never even thought of. The other day I was looking at one of Jon Lord's solos on YouTube in one of his live performances, and he did this little spin that I've never seen before and I've never thought of playing, and it just opened up a world of possibilities for me in my solo, so I thought I'd share this one with you. It's really simple. He does this over an F blues, and the F blues scale of course is F, A flat, B flat, B, C, E flat, and F. Now what he does is he just takes the top 3 notes of the blues scale, which are C, E flat, and F, and he does a little spin like this. That's it. But if you get creative with something like this and you've never really done a spin like that before, you can create like 20 licks out of this. So immediately I started messing with it. I was like, okay, well let's do the top part of it and see what we can put on the bottom. Here's some examples. So right there, that just goes to show you that you can change it up, Frankenstein it with other licks, and really make it your own thing. Here's a couple of ways that you can practice this lick. You can practice on the top part of the blues scale like this and do the spin. Then you can actually go to the bottom part of the blues scale and do the spin here. Top part, bottom part. Now what you can do is create a metronome effect with your left hand just by playing a bass note like a metronome on an F. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just get used to doing those spins all the way down the organ and slowly work up speed. So there you go. So I'll play some examples of that. You can also use that as a bass line to practice with. I'll play some examples over that bass line. So just like a rock bass line. By the seat of my pants. So let's try to slow that down a little bit. I'm not taking my own advice, which is start slowly and then work up speed gradually. So I'm just kind of testing things out, trying different lines, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. Let's try some more. So of course you can always change direction at the bottom of the line. You don't always have to play it as a descending line. You can add some ascending parts as well. Another great bass line that you could try practicing it over is just like an F blues bass line like this. Same thing, you can start to Frankenstein things. And you can see as I practice, stuff starts to come together more naturally. I'm the same as anybody else. When I start practicing a lick for the first time and I try to put things together, they often don't land I'm often playing things that don't sound good to me, but that's how you can find new stuff. You kind of have to go through that uncomfortable phase of trying some licks and stuff's just not landing the way you want it to, and then eventually the river will start to flow, and see, these licks will start to just fall into place in your playing. And eventually, when you practice them enough over a few months, it just kind of becomes part of your DNA, and you start spitting the stuff out in your solos. That's when it gets really fun. When you've embedded a concept so deeply into your DNA that you don't even think of it. You're just doing a solo and it just happens. And of course, that takes time. So you have to do those moves over and over again. When I'm practicing, I often will only be working on 3 or 4 licks or 3 or 4 concepts at a time, and you might want to try that too. It might work for you, because sometimes when you are working on too many things at once, you never really get good at one thing. So sometimes if you pick 3 or 4 licks or theory concepts and just hammer on them every day, even if it's just for a half an hour or an hour, before you know it, they will become muscle memory and become part of your DNA, so to speak, so that when you're in the heat of the moment, that stuff just fires out of you without even thinking. And that's when it gets really, really cool. Anyways, there's just another way to look at a blues scale inspired by Jon Lord. And I hope you like that. And we'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching.